Hi guys. So I made a really quick boot thing. So basically, I use this because this can be a flash drive or anything. I'm planning on replacing the thing that's in here with a 3.0 flash drive, so I can basically use it on my Lenovo Legion Go and or just my MacBook and just plug it in stuff so I can have extra space and do this thing. So what this is just a Bluetooth adapter I have that is a Asus one, and it so I use system info, found the name of the Bluetooth adapter. You can do the same thing with you can either use the name that shows up on the drive here on your desktop, or you can use just the name of the USB device itself. But you have to know the exact name, or you have to know what device you're plugging in. And I recommend, if you're using this on a laptop, we'll use it with a something that's pretty light. This is something I had that came with the USB C thing. Came with this adapter with the drawing tablet. But what I did was I just took some tape. You can even take some like glue and glue it in there just in case you don't want it to like fall out. But I just used some tape because it was easier and I can take it off much easier. So I just wrapped around there so it doesn't fall out, and it gives me a better grip since this device itself is metal. So um so when I plug this in, it launches a keyboard micro macro, which then when this device is plugged in, it launches an app. When I unplug it, it closes another app. So the app is the app that it launches is the software is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels, which is a game for Yu-Gi-Oh! That's pretty cool. And so when I plug this in, it launches the app, which is running under cross uh, um, cross code. The It's basically the official thing for wine that I can't remember the name of that I have installed. And so when I plug it in, it launches Master Duels. Master Duels will then launch, and then when I'm done, or after I basically save my progress, I can then go back to menu, and then I can basically pull this out, which means it will quit um it's a software. It will quit the software, and then it'll wait 30 seconds and then fully quit the application. So it would run the application. I'll show you. Is The application is crossover. That's the name. I couldn't remember the name. So crossover would boot the Master Duel thing. Once it boots Master Duel, it would basically once this app is launched, it launches Steam because this is running in Steam, and so this will launch that will launch that, and this will launch that. So this app will launch it from Keyboard Maestro, and then that's when I plug in this device right here. When I unplug it, it will basically Keyboard Maestro will send the quit command to here, which will quit the Master Duels. And once it quits, it will quit Steam, which will quit Master Duels, which will shut it down and send it to the taskbar. And then I wait 30 seconds just to make sure everything's closed. It will then quit crossover again and fully quit the application. So I can then do this. I have that set up here, so I can do actually that. But on this Mac Mini, I have the same thing kind of set up here, but instead of me pulling out an actual USB device, I'm just pressing this button on the Stream Deck to open it and close it. It does the same exact thing, but because I did it here, so if I want to play Master Duels on my desk with the keyboard and mouse, not trackpad, I can do it here. Or if I'm just sitting at a friend's house, I can connect to their internet and connect to them and play there. Or I can play from here with a friend, or in another room with a friend on here, since this account is linked to my Steam account. So yeah. And so you would basically, it would basically be booted over here. So yeah. So it will load up on this screen in full screen. And the reason I did this was because I was using another software which is called YGO Pro, and to play the game with friends with that, it ends up being more work. And Master Duels actually runs better than YGO Pro on this Mac. That is because of how I had it. Because how I originally was going to do it, I was going to use Parallels and installed on my Mac. And then once I install Parallels, I can then install Windows. Windows would then, I could install Steam. Steam would then install Master Duels. Problem was, Parallels just has been kind of broken on 14.4, so I haven't actually gotten it working. It's the version I'm running right now. And basically, VMware Fusion works technically, but I can't use the command OOB something to make a local account on Windows, and I can't, and I have to install the drivers for the actual for the thing on the computer before I can basically so I can get the network drivers. And I can't get the network drivers because of I can't make an account, because I have to make a local account in order to, because I have to have an account on Windows in order to update drivers. And so I can get a network, and I can't get a network because I can't make an account, because of you need a network and you need drivers for that, and the drivers just aren't working properly. So other than that, so I thought I could use crossover, and when I use crossover, that worked perfectly fine on my M1, and I tried on my M2, and it worked out perfectly fine. So they both work, and I hope you like that. So I'll show you the Keyboard Maestro script on here. So the Keyboard Maestro script. So you have to make sure to have Keyboard Maestro running in the background. So this one. So you see it says Master Duel Start. It will launch YGO Pro, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel from Crossover Steam. Then it will press stop, which will do quit, and then after 30 seconds it will quit again. And so that's about it. And then this macro will run once the exact name, which is BCM20702A0, which is this device right here, is unplugged. But when it's plugged in, oopsies, I didn't want to uncheck that. When it's plugged in, it will run this command right here when it's attached. So that's about it for that one. And so let me show you how it works. So just gonna close Keyboard Maestro. So if we take this device and then plug it in, so I just plugged it in. It takes a little bit of time because of It's a open up crossover. Once it opens up crossover, it will open up Steam. Steam will open, which will then open up Master Tools. So, because if you look right here, there it goes. There's Steam opening. Now, Master Tools is opening. And you can see Master Tool is opening. And so when I unplug it, oops, well, that was with one hand, so you see Steam mode closed. Which is parallel slow closing. Not parallel, crossover closing. Then it will wait 30 seconds and it'll quit again. And you can see this by, there you go, that icon. And as you can see, crossover is closed. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you liked the video. This took a little bit of time to make because what I ideally wanted to do was take a USB device that had just a USB part right here and USB-C in, so I didn't have to use a dongle. I might have to get a tiny USB-C flash drive and plug it in there, and then have that work. And you can make a ton of stuff like this with Keyboard Maestro by actually just having it with USB-C or USB-A, whatever, as long as you're running Keyboard Maestro and you know the exact name of the device. You can then put it, so if it's a flash drive, flash drives are much easier because you just format the flash drive, or you just make it so the flash drive can be used either on Windows or Mac OS. I use exFAT for that, and because if you plan on using it on Windows and Mac, so if you're just using a Windows computer, then this wouldn't work. But if you're using a Mac computer, and if you're using a Mac computer and Mac only, then you can just format it into APS, the Apple format, and or other formats that other devices use. I recommend exFAT mainly because it's cross-compatible with Windows and Mac OS, or any other device specifically that uses exFAT. So, and then you can then make it so just make sure they're different flash drives, or they're different flash drives with they're the same form factor but different name. For example, if you get one from SanDisk, 3 from SanDisk, make sure the first drive is named something 1 or something 2 or 3, whatever. Just make sure the names are different. I wouldn't put any spaces in there. I make it so I would put an underscore if you need a space, and once you do that, you then give that name, and you give that name to Keyboard Maestro. So when it sees that name, it will run the macro, and if you unplug it, it will run another macro. But the problem is, if this is a flash drive, it will say the drive wasn't properly ejected. They have a script for that you can run in terminal that allows you to ignore that script, because it pretty much doesn't matter, since unless you're using it to unless you're using it to unless you're using it to store data on there for other computers and the Mac, because exFAT is can be corrupted easily. So what if you're doing that, I would basically plug in the flash drive, and then it will launch it. And then if you need to eject it, you put another keyboard maestro command on there, but you have it activate with a hotkey. So what a hotkey will actually do is it will eject the flash drive, so it's properly ejected. And then since when it's properly ejected, the other keyboard maestro command will actually run, which in this turn would quit master duels. And once it does that, you can just pull out the flash drive. It'll be successfully ejected, and it also would be a little bit cleaner. But you just have to remember the keyboard shortcut. For example, and just put this keyboard shortcut for all the flash drives you actually use. For example, I would basically do something like Option Control Shift, or something that you can't basically say, oh, I accidentally clicked that with. So for example, like I would do Command Option Control Shift, and like number 1, and you would rarely need to press that on the computer. Oops, I just dropped the phone. So you would rarely have to press that keyboard shortcut for like anything random. The most thing you probably have to do is press Shift and 1 to like get that. Because if you have to do it up here, then I wouldn't recommend that one. I'll basically do it like a 1, and then keep that keyboard shortcut just remembered. So when you need to eject each flash drive, you just press that keyboard shortcut, and it'll run the eject command on it'll run that keyboard maestro command, it'll run another keyboard maestro command because the flash drive was ejected properly, or just unplugged. But since it's ejected properly, you don't risk data corruption on the flash drive. And if you're using it on Windows and Mac, then your data will be safe. Or you could try something that basically has a USB signature on there when you plug it in. But I recommend something that's in a tinier format than this. Mainly, I only have this because of it was I had a spare USB, and the other thing was like 3 times as big as this, because of what I had was a little cable plus a cable plus a USB dongle. A USB flash drive plus a dongle cable, and it was about as large as from here to here, and it was just really bulky, and I didn't want that hanging out of my USB port. And so I basically thought this could work until I get a proper USB flash drive that is tiny and USB-C. And so, because this doesn't put much weight on the port, and the dongle would be about half the size of this thing right here, so it'd be about from where my finger is down to the USB end. So yeah, I just ordered one of those, and it would work. So just make sure it's something that can be converted into exFAT. If it can't be converted into exFAT, then FAT32 would be the next best thing. But that's compatible on Mac OS and Windows still. But it's limited to 30. I mean, it's limited to 4 gigs. So yeah, that's how I basically made the adapter, so I can basically auto launch master duels. And I just did this because of I wanted to see if that would work. And basically this can work with like any application you actually use daily, but I decided to use it with master duels because of in order to actually launch Master Duels, I would have had to open up crossover and then basically open up Steam. Steam opens, open Parallels. Crossover opens, then open Steam, then it opens uh, the Master Duels, and Master Duels opens, and I have to log in, blah blah blah. So with this, I just plug it in. Master Duel logs in, and launches at the same exact time, and all this happens in the background, so I don't have to do any keyboard functions then. And since Master Duels automatically saves, I can literally just unplug this and it shuts down Steam and everything, and done. And I can basically just shut down my laptop then, or close it, whatever. And for here, I have it for if I need to do any game recording at my desk. So if I wanted to record Master Duels, I could basically just play it here and record it here. Or if I needed to, I could record it on here, on this laptop, and leave this computer for rendering and saving. And if I needed to, someone could be playing on here and watching duels at the sense watching the duel on this account here. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.